Hey, welcome back to another episode of Overland Q&A. I'm joined by Graham today. Thanks for coming to...
How's it, mate?
Yeah, how's it? So, what we're going to be doing with these shows is we're going to be bringing in a couple of guest stars, some professionals in their own right. So we've got some really hectic electrical questions, and then when we got some questions like we got today, it's nice to get a point of view from two people. So we're going to go through two questions today, and I'm sure we're going to have a bit of an argument, but we'll keep it simple.
Always a discussion, right?
It's the only way. Right, so let's get straight into it. Mohammed Ahmed asks, which fridge do you recommend? Now,
National Luna.
well, I'm an Engel boy.
Yeah.
But we've just recently both made a change.
Well, we have, yeah. No, so it's a debatable thing. Look, I've used National Lunas since 1999, 2000, somewhere there.
And we've been using Engel for pretty much the same amount of time.
We've just both gone and bought a Snowmaster.
And what's your first thing?
Great
First
fridge.
thoughts, yeah.
I wanted a low profile 60 litre fridge for day trips on my own.
Yeah.
Fit in the back of the pickup, happy days. And yeah, great product. Good remote control, pulls down very quickly to temperature. Power draw's not too bad either. But functionality, double lid as well. So you've got one side food, one side drinks.
Yeah.
Like the product. They're locally available, so if I'm going to replace, then I would replace with Snowmaster purely because they're in the marketplace here.
What I've found with it, and I mean, I've gone on and on this channel about how great Engel is, and just don't waste your money, just go straight to the top of the range and buy your Engel. Tell you what, the Snowmaster gets colder a lot quicker than my Engel does,
Yeah.
which means the compressor gets to the cooling temperature quicker, which we will see now once I install the Red Arc what the power consumption over a 24-hour period is, but it's getting cool so quickly, which means it's idling for the rest of the day.
Yeah, look, I agree. I mean, I like the product. I mean, as I said, it cools down quicker, uses less power from what I'm seeing. I really like the Snowmaster, but I still have 3 National Lunas that I run, right? I mean, I've got the camping trailer, I've got a 90 litre split fridge freezer in the trailer, I carry an 80 litre in the back, I've got the Snowmaster in the pickup now. I've even now got a spare 80 litre kicking around that, you know, I will use, but most of my fridges have been National Luna. They give you the same functionality. Look, set low voltmeters down to 9.5 volts. You can set at 10, you can set 11 on your cutoffs. Snowmaster does the same. The nice thing with the Snowmaster is it's got the remote control, so you can see it all the time.
I love it. I absolutely
good
love
product.
it. You know, Engel, you've got to go and buy, it's another $30, and then you can only monitor. It's a battery monitoring or a fridge monitoring system. So it's great to be able to see what's going on, but you cannot on the fly. You've got to start, open up the back, or stop, open up the back and change it. But, right, so...
I like the price of them as well.
I was just about to get to that. It's phenomenal. I mean, the pricing, and it's a great product. Now, it all depends on, so let's get back to Mohammed Ahmed over here. It all depends on what you're going to be utilizing it for. Now, Graham and myself, we do longer trips, so we're very reliant on our fridges. If you're using it as a weekend tool, you can get away with a lot cheaper products out there. Waco is an entry-level product as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, if it's for weekends only and you're not really worried it's one night, 2 nights, you don't need to go and spend the money for a National Luna or an Engel like I've done. Snowmaster's right there in the middle. It's actually probably, price-wise, damn close to the Waco pricing.
Yeah, you know it is, and it's, look, I can't go in. The minimum I can take is a 60 litre, right? I mean, the small ones are great if you want to have it in your car, blah, blah, blah. But if you've got food and drinks, that 60 litre, split door, low profile, awesome, price is great. You can't beat it. But they are quite big. If you've got a space constraint, the little Waco here on the left, that's a great product, you know? But yeah, it depends on what you want to do, depends on how you want to do it. But for me, right now, in this market, you want a good, reliable fridge.
Especially with the heat.
Yeah, you see the heat's the other thing.
I think for the rest of the world out there, in the European market, the UK market, and in parts of the States as well, some places you don't. You just need an ST. You just need a cooler box, and it'll stay cold.
Exactly right. I mean, if you actually look, I was on looking around this morning for some stuff on the US website, and I see now a lot of the Conqueror stuff, for example, they're all using Snowmasters in the US.
Yeah.
Still National Lunar down in the south, but in the US it's Snowmaster. And I see a lot more of this coming along.
Yeah.
So, would you go Engel? Would you go National Lunar? Would you go Snowmaster? For me, I think the National Lunar and the Snowmaster are very close to each other now. The Engels
and the price is then a lot. Then now, if you look at the price, then the Snowmaster is going to.
The Snowmaster beats. I mean, you know, bring up a 90-litre National Lunar from South Africa. By the time you've bought it, paid your tax, and shipped it, it's going to cost you $5.5, $6 grand.
Well, there you have it. I hope we've helped you out with that. I think it all boils down to the application. We're here in the Middle East. When we're driving down to Salalah over the summer months, we're hitting through 55, sometimes 60 degrees in the Liwa Desert, and you need to make sure that those fridges are running at optimal temperature. So,
Agreed.
Yeah,
I agree.
Hope we helped you out over there, mate. So let's move to the new segment of our show. This is the tool tip of the week. You all have a normal spanner set in your vehicle, roll up like this. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just a little difficult when you get into those hard to reach spots, especially underneath the roof rack. You have to put the spanner in, lift it off, do it again, and it's an absolute nightmare. Does the job, but technology has changed. So you can look at replacing it with one of these. Spanner on the one side, ratchet on the other side. Various choices for you. You can get the double edge, so ratchet on both sides with two different sizes, which ends up being a lot less space with more sizes, or replace it with one singular, your 13, 15, 16, 19, depending on the vehicle. So, and what I like about these is you can move it up like this, and you can work that hard to reach spot. So get down here to SpeedX, come have a look at this, and that's your tip of the week. Let's move on to the next question. Right, so this is from Harat. Harat asks, how do we set our routes? Now, again, Graham's here. Graham does a lot of traveling, and Graham, in one of the shows that we did in Oman, you'll see some of the routes that we drove from Salalah back up to Masira Island. You actually picked one of the routes, picked a couple of the camp spots. So how do you go about setting a route or finding a camp spot?
Okay, so I set a destination. Where do I want to go? And then say, okay, what do I want to explore going down, or what do I want to explore coming back? So based on that, I Google Earth it, like everybody. We have a look at the destination, look at the areas, mark a few spots, and then try and find your tracks in by using Motion GPX. You can use Google Earth and look at track lines in, and then mark certain points. So you're tracking through certain locations. If it's road driving, it's really quite easy. But when you get into the mountains and the wadis and you've got to pick routes through those wadis, then I tend to put several markers down the track so I can follow that track through. Otherwise, you could end up peeling right on a track when you should have gone left.
Especially in Mirbat. With the amount of roads that are there for the fishermen, you can actually get so lost in that short
And you
little
think
space.
You're going in the right direction, but in fact you can end up having to come all the way back round to do it again. So it's worthwhile picking multiple tracks. So I use multiple views. I use Google Earth, I use Motion GPX, and in some cases I even use Google Maps, because sometimes you can zoom in on that and get an idea as well. So that's how I track. Gaia Maps has got pretty good. We looked at that the other day.
We looked at it. I think the Gaia Maps are still better in the States.
Absolutely.
It's like Tracks for Africa in Africa. If you're going to Africa, only place you're going to, just go straight to Tracks for Africa, and then you can still use your Motion X Pro, Motion GPX. Great little products, but yeah, that's pretty much what we do as well. I go and look, what am I trying to achieve? If we're just running around, and sometimes it's even better, if you've only got a weekend, grab the missus, get in the car, get to a T-junction, flip a coin. If you're in dangerous areas, make sure when you flip the coin you're going left, you're not going into a squatter camp. But generally here in the Middle East, flip flip a coin, go left, go right, and record the track, because you'll find some amazing spots, and we have found some great spots that way.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you're going to do a long track and you're tracking 10, 15 days, you've got to be able to make some sense of it.
You've got to plan it as well. And the other thing about it is plan your route based on your off-roading capability.
Yes.
Some areas you're going to go through areas where you need, if it's real soft sand, you don't want to be doing that on your own. You get stuck in the middle of nowhere, nobody knows where you are, you've got a problem. So you've got to plan your route. Sometimes you'll have to come round because I'm on my own.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can track through the sand, cross the Wahiba Sands, for example, because I've got 3-4 vehicles.
Yeah.
Really be mindful of your capability, what recovery gear you got in your vehicle, can you get yourself out on your own, or do you need other people?
Yeah.
So that also plays an impact. Destination is one thing, but the route down is also another. So choose your route based on capability, based on terrain, and also who's accompanied with you, right?
Of course. Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Good. I'm sure we've covered all the points there, Farad. Anything else you need to know? Log the question below. Mate, thanks for joining us today.
No, pleasure. Good to see you. Take care.
Catch you soon.
See you later.
Remember, if it's dusty, drive it.